and welcome to the France 24 interview. I'm Mairead Dundas. Now, there remain very few unexplored frontiers on planet Earth, but one of them is the depths of the Indian Ocean, the site of a scientific expedition which is 200 metres underwater off the coast of the Seychelles, going where no one has gone before, exploring an area that is already reeling from the effects of climate change and global warming. Now, joining us directly from the deck of the mothership, Seychelles President Danny Faure. A very warm welcome to France 24.
Thank you. Thank you for giving the opportunity. Thank you.
Now, just a short time ago, you gave an address from 124 metres underwater, a call to action. Can you tell us what it's like to be so up close and personal with your subject matter?
Yes, this is very important. Down a depth of 124 metres for the first time. And what I saw gave me this conviction and this strong determination to tell the world what we need to do and the need for action on issues of global warming, on the issues of climate change, what is happening to plastic pollution, and the need for better and greater protection of our areas. And my country, the Seychelles, we have taken the lead. We have taken the bold step for us to protect our areas.
Indeed. Last year, your government was involved in a world first. It was a debt swap designed to protect the ocean. Just to summarise, your government agreed to create marine reserves larger than the size of Great Britain in exchange for getting some of its debt paid off. We know that activist Leonardo DiCaprio was even involved. Why are these kinds of deals needed?
Yes, you see, we need to be innovative. Countries like Seychelles, small countries with limited resources, but you still have a vision. We know what's happening in the world, so it's a matter of innovation. And that deal was the first in the world, and it was a direct innovation on the part of my country. But we said that we will do it, and we have managed to do it. In the next month, we would have achieved a target of 26% in terms of marine protected areas for my country. And by the next year, that is 2020, we would hit the target of 30%. And you see, the world target is 10% in the year 2030. So 10 years before my country, the Seychelles, we have done what is necessary. And I think others also can do so.
Earlier in your address, Mr. President, you said that the ocean is our beating heart, but yet we have better maps of planet Mars than we do of the ocean floor. This seems somewhat ridiculous, and at the same time, a scientific expedition like yours is trying to change that.
Yes, the technology, the science has developed. We have better understanding of Mars, and yet the ocean floors has never been, no mapping. And through this expedition, we are trying to tell to the world that this is an opportunity for us to change the world. The technology is there, submersibles are there, the commitment is missing, the courage is lacking, time is running out. Why don't we use the technology that is there so that we can have better data? And from the partnership that we have established with Nekton, is that every data, that will be the property of the Seychelles government. So we will have full control on information, full control on the data. And better data, the better data that we'll have, it will help decision makers to take better decisions going forward. And I think this is the solution. for other countries to follow. It can be done. It is a matter of making this decision and say, yes, it can be done.
Now, there's talk of developing a legally binding framework to protect oceans outside of national borders. How likely is this to happen, and how would it work?
Yeah, the work has started within the United Nations, and I have given commitments to my minister and principal secretary, and of course the ambassador in New York. We make a must that we attend all these meetings, and I think that is the future, so that it is not within national borders, that is not within our jurisdiction. It is out of our jurisdiction. It is out of our borders. And this is why it is important that we have an international legal binding, so that we can have a say on that part of the ocean, to better manage it, so that it doesn't go out of control.
Now, your archipelago relies on fishing and tourism, but has also recently been looking at the possibility of extracting oil and gas from the ocean sea floor. How compatible is that with ocean conservation?
Yeah, you know, my country decided that we need to have oil exploration, and it has started many, many years ago, and it will continue to do so, but we don't see any direct conflict with what we are doing. And to demonstrate that is that the areas that we have been looking at, the 30% of the areas we have taken into consideration, we have worked, we have had intensive consultation with all stakeholders on this matter. So Seychelles will continue to protect its areas, whilst also looking at the interest that has been there. And it has taken a lot of years, a lot of international interest. So I personally don't see any direct contradiction on this subject matter.
That's in terms of ocean protection, perhaps, but the oceans are being affected by rising temperatures. Burning more oil and gas probably won't help in any way to protect the rising temperatures or the rising oceans.
Yes, I think basically it's a question of how we go forward. And in my own country, we have not, hasn't been any discovery or announcement on the issue of oil and gas. And most of the energy now is being put in the development and conservation of our oceans. But I think it's going forward, it will also be a matter whereby a country like Seychelles or the regional blocks that we are member to, and I think this is something that I'm prepared to discuss. But I think we should not be distracted on what is more important today. And what is more important today is the subject of how we as a country and other countries of the world can better have protection to the ocean, and developing what is called marine spatial plans is an answer to this question.
And how is this kind of project, and your experience of it, you've been seeing the results of this firsthand, how has it changed the way that you're going to address it when you do speak to other world leaders who are perhaps less advanced and less knowledgeable on the issue of ocean protection?
So, so far we've been doing a lot in our country, and as from today, I am more determined to move forward. I'll become a very strong advocate, an ambassador on these global issues. I will be attending the United Nations Summit on Climate Change. And in June, I'll be addressing a very important conference on the oceans. My vice president, who is also the Minister for Economy, the Blue Economy, my Minister for Environment. In fact, all of us in government, we are working very, very hard to push this agenda forward. It is no longer a question of our own survival as a small country. It's a question of survival of our humanity. It's a question of the survival of our planet. And I think this is why all countries, all governments have to act and to take the decisive action, moving this agenda forward.
Many thanks for joining us. Seychelles President Danny Faure from the Nekton scientific mission mothership in the Indian Ocean. Thank you very much for being with us here on France 24.
No, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity and my country, the Seychelles, to explain our position and this historical moment today. So thank you.
Many thanks for watching. Stay tuned and stay with us on France 24 because we've got much more news and features coming up.